Definitely. I've played cricket here all my life, and definitely I've never seen a wicket like this at Supersport Park. It is really hard work, in the heat, with conditions really tough. It's right up there with one of the hardest spells I've bowled. Yeah. I just think, the pace of the wicket. You've got a small little window with new ball. I think the first hour in the mornings, the reason might be because it's undercover, overnight. But at first hour, the ball's almost like a little bit quicker off the deck. But after that, there's actually no pace in the wicket. Especially from the pavilion end, I found it's very tennis ball bouncy. It's important, with ball in hand, to come up with different sort of game plans, and you need to try a lot of things. But luckily we semi had runs on the board, in the first innings to try different things. But from a bowling point of view, definitely not the ideal sort of surface.
Yes, sir.
Obviously it was important for us to get the breakthrough this morning. We knew, talking last night, to put 2 wickets on their score, they knew we were bowling to the tail end. So I think to get those first 2, Pandya or Virat or Ashwin, was crucial. And luckily by run out, things changed a little bit. Otherwise, I think it would have been an interesting sort of day. But I think as a bowling unit, we stuck to our guns. We kept on running in. We kept on on a difficult surface, asking good questions. And then with the bat this afternoon, I thought after losing those two early wickets, Dean and AB played superbly. With the stuff with Ashwin bowling from one end, and they had the luxury then to rotate their seamers from the top. So the way they stuck out and to have a lead, by over 100 tonight, it's satisfying.
Yes,
Good result as well.
I don't see that. I think definitely, point standing it there, the result is very much possible. If they get some early wickets tomorrow, if we can bat, through the first session, not losing any wickets in attack, maybe after lunch, the game is still very open. So it's tough to say. I think at the top of my head, if I had to think, maybe 250 on day 5. If the wicket now turning a little bit and staying a little bit, keeping low. I think that 250 can even be a good score. But I think it's important not to look too far ahead. There's still plenty of overs left in this game, and for us it's just important tomorrow, in that first sort of hour when the ball is coming on nicely, to try and cash in.
Yes, thanks.
Obviously, we've got a couple of options that we turn to, we go to. But like I said, it's quite tough when the wicket is so slow, and you, as a batsman of his quality, you've got time to adjust. So bowling certain lengths, bowling certain lines, you've got that small window to make a play. And for us, it's just in a way to on this sort of surface to keep him quiet. Try and bowl as many dot balls as possible. He came out with a lot of intent yesterday, looking to score and looking to take the game forward. And for us it's just important to hit our straps and stop them from scoring too quickly.
Yes, good.
Yeah, definitely. I think Virat, he's got the perfect sort of action for this sort of wicket. He's very skiddy. But I think talking to our batters, doing some prep before the test match, we've got certain sort of game plans, and there's a very fine line when you bowl to them, from coming too straight. I think they're very good players when you bowl, you attack the stumps, you are too straight. So your line that you go, when we talk about straight lines, I personally think, and team discussion think, it's different than we see in television. You can't really attack middle stump. Middle stump is too straight for them, and they can take the game away from that. So definitely with the wicket now, staying low, keeping low, reverse swing, that's the sort of option we'll discuss tomorrow. Set sort of different fields, but I think at first, getting the ball outside the eye line, with hopefully the bit of extra bounce and pace, that was sort of the key for us. Yeah, definitely. I mean, Virat is very competitive. Obviously they're over here to compete, and they've got a team that could potentially beat South Africa the first time here. So I think that's his nature. It gets him going, keeps him going. So yeah, I mean, we're well aware of that, but we don't take any notice of it.
What are you thinking about tomorrow?
Yeah, obviously it's a bit of a red flag, and it's something that we do talk about a lot. And losing cluster of wickets, it's not ideal. But yeah, so for us, I mean, it is each individuals to them, so they must take the responsibility. But yeah, there's definitely a massive thing in the team to build partnerships. Partnerships is key in Test cricket. So hopefully tomorrow we can work on those sort of things that we talk about, and get that lead that we desperately want.
Quite close to bowling in India.
100%. Like I said, it's unheard of that the spinner bowls, that amount of overs in the first day. We even had the option that over before lunch to open with a spinner. And yeah, so it is really, very subcontinent sort of feel to it. Tough scoring, tough to get people out. So yeah, luckily we've got some experience of that in the bank, but definitely not a sort of conditions that we want here in South Africa. Not really. I think I give myself a couple of hours to get a feel for the length. My sort of action, my it's completely different to KG and those sort of things. So, at times it might take me a little bit longer to get used to those sort of things, but definitely, adjusting to a full length or hitting a back length, I don't have any problem with that. As soon as the ball is a little bit softer, obviously, the game changes a little bit and the game changes a little bit. But yeah, I would like to be on the money sometimes a little bit more quicker, but unfortunately, I'm human.